Top of the morning, kids. This is St. Patrick's Day week. On Wednesday is St. Patrick's Day, and so I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But right now I'd like you to think about a wedding that you may have been to. Can you think of a time when you were invited to a wedding? The first wedding that I went to was my Uncle Larry's when I was very little, and I remember that the thing that I really learned that I loved about weddings was the cake. I really loved that vanilla cake with vanilla icing, and even to this day, that's my favorite kind of cake. Another wedding I went to in my early years was my Aunt Barbara, and at that wedding I had a lot of fun dancing with everybody, and so that was a lot of fun. Well, Jesus and his disciples were invited to a wedding in our story today, so let's hear about that. There was a wedding in the town of Cana, which is in the region of Galilee. Many people came to celebrate with the bride and groom. Jesus and his disciples were also invited. Jesus' mother Mary was there too. But something very embarrassing happened. The bride and groom ran out of wine. This was never supposed to happen at weddings in Bible days. Mary said to Jesus, "They have no wine left." Jesus replied, "Why are you saying this to me?" But Mary told the servants, "Do whatever he tells you to do." 6 large jars that were used for washing were nearby. Each could hold 30 gallons of water. Jesus told the servants, "Fill the water jars with water." So they filled them to the top. Then he said, "Draw water out and take it to the head steward to taste it." And they did. The steward tasted the wine, not knowing where it came from. He called the bridegroom. "Everyone serves the best wine first at their wedding, and then the cheaper wine later, but you have kept the good wine until now." This was the first of Jesus' miraculous signs, and when the disciples saw it, they believed in him. In Capernaum there was a royal official whose son was sick. When he heard that Jesus had come back to Galilee, he went to him and begged him to come and heal his son, who was about to die. Jesus said, "Unless people see signs and wonders, they will not believe." The official replied, "Sir, come before my son dies." Jesus said, "Go home, your son will live." The man believed him and headed home. But while he was on his way, his servants met him and said his son was much better. He asked when the boy started to get better. They said, "Yesterday, at 1:00 in the afternoon, the fever left him." The father knew that was the very time Jesus told him, "Your son will live." So he and his whole household believed in Jesus. So those were just a couple of the first miracles that Jesus performed. And we know that as he talked more and more about God, he also performed many more miracles, which caught the attention of people and made them listen to what he was saying. And so that's why miracles were important. We'll hear about more of those miracles and the things that Jesus said in upcoming weeks. But I did want to talk about St. Patrick's Day, since that is this week. St. Patrick is one of the greatest missionaries that the church has ever seen, and I'm going to tell you his story. But it is also, this is marking one anniversary already. It's been 1 year since we met at Asbury at church. We were planning this great big St. Patrick's Day celebration, and we had to cancel it because of the coronavirus. And I never dreamed it would be this long, a whole year, without meeting together in church. But I think it won't be much longer now. The numbers are going down, people are getting vaccinated, and so pretty soon I think we'll be able to start meeting together, and you and I and all the kids will be able to do the fun things that we long to do. I have many wonderful plans I can't wait to tell you about, and I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, let me tell you about St. Patrick's Day and how we're celebrating this great Irish saint.
I shall nearly snap me girdle.
Top of the morning to ye, friends, and bless me, 'tis St. Patty's Day, the most wonderful day of the year, barring Christmas Mass, of course. 'Tis the day we remember our beloved St. Patrick, who lived 1600 years ago. Now, lads and lassies, that's a long time ago. He is said to be the one who brought the Christian faith to the island of Ireland, and here's how it happened. When he was only 16 years old, he was kidnapped by a band of Irish raiders, the Rogues. He was taken from his home in Britain and forced to be their slave in Ireland. He was forced to take care of their sheep for 6 years, and during that time he called upon the Lord and grew strong in his faith in Jesus Christ. Now one night he dreamed that a ship was ready to take him back to Britain. So when he woke up, he escaped to the sea, and lo and behold, he did get on board a ship that headed him back home. But not long after that, he dreamed again, and in his dream, the Irish people sent him a letter asking him to return to their island. With faith in the Lord, he did return and preached about salvation in Jesus Christ. Many people were baptized by him. Many of them gave up the idols that they were worshipping, and so the legend was said that St. Patrick drove the snakes out of Ireland. The snake he really drove out was the old one from the Garden of Eden, the devil. And Patrick himself would want you to know that it wasn't him, it was the Lord who did these great works through him. And so we celebrate him to this very day. The Irish like to speak of the wee people, meaning the legends of leprechauns that they are so fond of. But to me, ye all are the wee people that the good Lord has made me fortunate enough to have in me life. I have loved spending time with ye, playing games, talking about God, helping out the homeless. And I long to do it all again and in new and exciting ways. But for now, I'll leave you with an old Irish blessing. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be at your back. May the sun shine upon your face and the rains fall soft upon your fields. May the Lord hold you close in his one arm as he nestles me in the other. And may it not be long before we meet in his loving embrace. Happy St. Pat's Day, friends.